Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
Doors blown off
Well,
by Cincinnati. Obviously, very short-handed. Two of those
yeah, yeah,
players they need back, Kevin McCullar and Hunter Dickinson. You have updates on. What can you tell us?
yeah. I talked to Kevin McCullar, and he told me he'll be back. This was more of a precautionary deal, just to get the rest that he needed. He said this has been a problem since the last time they played Cincinnati, and it's been kind of off and on with this deep knee bruise. And he said he's feeling better. And trust me, Kevin McCullar and Hunter Dickinson are going to play. They're going to play in the NCAA tournament. The question is, how effective they're going to be after missing this time, right? Obviously, they're veterans, but it's still, you're throwing them back into a situation that doesn't look very promising to begin with. I mean, we saw it tonight, guys. One guy showed up for Kansas tonight. One guy. It was like playing 1-on-5. That's what I felt like watching this game tonight. It was KJ Adams against 5 Cincinnati players. And KJ Adams was a warrior, an absolute warrior tonight, on the glass, scoring, doing everything he could. But ultimately, obviously, he needs help. And if you get a healthy 100% Hunter Dickinson and Kevin McCullar with KJ Adams, then DeJuan Harris can be DeJuan Harris. Tonight he took 11 shots. He needed to take 20 shots tonight, legitimately, and he only made 3. Furphy was awful. Timberlake wasn't good. El Marco had that. Like, they just don't have enough guys. And now you're going to throw these guys back into the mix because, and I think it was the right thing to do, to sit both of them. Hunter wasn't ready. McCullar said he probably could have played, but again, it didn't make sense because ultimately they know what they're playing for, which is right. Agreed. They knew that. Bill Self knows that. He's smart enough to understand. They haven't had a great regular season anyway. Yeah, it'd be great to get a Big 12 tournament champion, but nobody's going to care in Kansas at the end of the day. They want them to get past the first weekend at the very least. And with a healthy McCullar and Dickinson, if they're at 90%, they can win 2 games. And then who knows? But win 2 games and not be, honestly, not be the first round exit, which really you look at them and you're like, they could easily be.
Let me tell you about our newest partner for the month of March, Splash Sports, the home of certified community competition, where you get to play against your friends and not the house. Whatever game it is that you are playing, from survivors to tiers to pick X, the safest way to play for real money without the hassle of having to track down deposits or worry about payments is through Splash. They have partnered with PaySafe, the best deposit and payment system in the world, to ensure that money stays in safe hands and is delivered to the right places. To join the Field of 68 Survivor Madness, click the link in our profile below and join in. Entries are $5 a pop with a prize pool of up to $4,500. Winner take all.
Yeah, Rob, what do you think realistically? Go ahead. You're going to make a point there.
No, I was just going to say, it looked very much tonight like they didn't want to be there. That was my biggest takeaway.
Oh, I don't think it was that. No. I don't think it was that. I honestly don't. They just didn't play well. Johnny Furphy couldn't make a shot. He looked tired. I don't think it was that he didn't want to be there. Timberlake couldn't make a shot. Well, he hasn't made a shot all season, right? They don't have enough. They should have pulled Zach Clements out of the red shirt 3 months ago. Zach Clements would have helped tonight. I can't believe still that he never came out of his red shirt. I know it was a deal made before the season, but man, Zach Clements would have played 25 minutes tonight, and he would have helped him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're confusing Kansas with Jeff Goodman. Jeff Goodman didn't want to be there tonight.
It wasn't the game I thought I was going to get. Hey, when I signed up for the Big 12 tournament, no, I thought I was going to get Kansas with some dudes. Instead, we got Kansas with some, really some role guys and guys that honestly shouldn't play at Kansas.
So, Rob, moving forward, obviously Bill Self's a legend and one of the best to ever do it in the sport. But, what do you think for him? And the season's not over, but, I mean, we've got enough of a sample size. We know the challenges with this group. what do you think he needs to take out of this season and why it looked so promising at the start and why it has ended, at least in the regular season, so kind of, roughly?
I mean, did it look promising at the start? At the start of the season, it was like, okay, they're finding ways to win.
Didn't
games.
You have him like 1 or 2? You had him, I had him, everybody had him preseason top 5.
Well, yeah, preseason, yeah, but then we saw them play, and it was like, okay, well, they're scraping out wins like at Indiana. They barely won that game.
That's just what I mean, right? They were preseason. They were a consensus top 3 team in the preseason, right? I mean, we knew what the roster was, and we still ranked them there.
Yeah, but we thought that getting Timberlake was going to be, I don't want to say the impact that Cam Spencer has had at UConn, but like a little bit closer to that level than what he's been this year. And if you get Nick Timberlake playing a little bit closer to that level and you still have Arterio Morris in the mix, then all of a sudden you can bring Marco Jackson on a little bit slower. And then all of a sudden Johnny Furphy, instead of being your 5th starter, is your 7th man. And we're having a completely different conversation about what this team is, because you got 2 guys that could sit there and be rotation level 30-minute a game players. Whereas Johnny, like, Furphy's really good, but you want him to be a 20-minute a game off the bench guy where you can bring him in, and if he's hitting shots, like, good, let's roll with this dude. This is his night. And when he's missing, you don't have to play him 32 minutes like you did tonight. Marco Jackson is a dude that you want to use the same way that, like, you want to use him as like a 15-minute a night game guy, so you could develop him so that next season he could be the guy that's ready to replace DeJuan Harris when DeJuan Harris is ready to head off to the professional ranks wherever he goes. That's the problem, is that they lost their depth because they lost the guy that they thought was going to be their starting 2 guard, and the guy that they thought would be able to step into that role is not good enough to be able to do it. So the top 4, like Kevin McCullar, DeJuan Harris, KJ Adams, Hunter Dickinson, show me a better top 4 in America. Like, those 4 are on par with UConn's. I would make the argument that top 4 is better than the top 4 on Houston, right? It's probably better than the top 4 on Baylor, but there's just not enough. And then when you combine that with the fact that Kevin McCullar is now playing like every other game, and when he plays, you don't know if he's going to be able to go the full 40 minutes. And now Hunter Dickinson has a shoulder that's not attached. Gottlieb the other day had a great line. He said it's a good thing he pulled out his right shoulder because he only goes left anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I like that's kind of what happened. It's a 4-man team, and you lost 2 of those 4 guys.
Right. I mean, doesn't give him any bullets. Doesn't give him any bullets right now. Again, I think Rob summarized it pretty well. And part of it was Bill Self thought he told people he thought Arterio Morris was going to make a huge impact this year for him. I never quite believed that. But again, in Bill Self, we trust, right? He's the best coach in the country. He's going to figure this thing out. He's going to develop some of these guys off the bench. They haven't developed. Timberlake hasn't gotten better. Parker Brown is what he is. Marco Jackson is what he is. You don't have Clements. Like, they just don't have enough on this Kansas team. And again, I'd be shocked if they go past the Sweet 16. And honestly, they're kind of that team that you're going to look at in your bracket. And if it's a 3-4 team, which it probably will be, maybe they'll be a 4 at this point. But I think they're a 3 or 4 seed. You're probably going to say, you know what? If it's a pretty good, 14 or 13 seed that you think has enough dudes, you might take them.
Hey, now in our Field of 68 bracket, they're matched up with Oakland.
Yeah.
Give me the Fighting Great Campies, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.